Hey guys, Sneaky Snake here, Brothers in Arms, World of Warships, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at our next community replay. And this one features Angelstone from TWA on the EU server, playing in the Montana, the Tier 10 American battleship. He's playing by himself, and it's some epicenter here on the map Tears of the Desert. So if you'd like to send a replay into us, please send it to BIAworldofwarships, all lowercase, at gmail.com. Please include the replay file, post-game screenshots if you have them, a brief description of the battle, and then if you'd like myself or Putin to do the commentary, you can request for that as well. So obviously, today is Sunday as you guys are watching this, and it should have been up yesterday. Obviously, as some of you know, I'm an admin for King of the Seas, so some stuff came up, and I wasn't able to get it out until today. And unfortunately, for the next couple of weeks, at least, there might be a chance for more of this kind of shenanigans with videos not getting uploaded on the proper day because there's just a lot of stuff, both as an admin for the NA side and as a player for the EU side that I have to take care of. So with that all being said, thank you guys for your patience, and please enjoy this replay. Now, what you're going to see here in this particular Montana gameplay is, well, it's interesting. The decisions that are made by Angel are sometimes questionable, but it's going to end up being a really, really good game. Now, you can see that Kreml that's over there, Captain Stewie of MDF, he's going to become the center point of this replay, and it's kind of funny. So in about 5 to 6 minutes, there's going to be a lot of shenanigans going on, and you guys will probably think to yourself, how in the world did he manage to have this score with the amount of strange things that happen over the course of this replay? And to Angel, I know you'll get this. This replay was straight PEPEGA. Like, it was ridiculous when I first recorded this thing. So if you guys are ready to see a very goofy community replay and one that still produces a lot of really good damage, well, then you're in for, I guess, a treat. So we'll see. Anyway, Angel's heading down south. He did tell me that when he was playing this that he has the legendary mod, and you can... Well, I think so. Hold on. Actually, no, I debated everybody. 14 kilometers is your concealment with a full concealment build. Nowadays, it used to be about 13.5 kilometers or so because the concealment changes a couple patches ago, where now everything only gets that 10% debuff instead of, I think the battleships had like 14%, or maybe it was 16%. So, full concealment build on this Montana. Running the legendary mod in this new meta with the carriers is actually a great idea, because if you go with a full tank build, you can get your floods down to 15 seconds, which is quite frankly really disgusting. You can push in there and tank a lot of damage, and even if you do get lit on fire quite a bit, or you do flood, it's really not that bad, and you can really tank a lot more than you used to be able to. And part of that also has to do with the new flooding mechanics as well. But anyway, Angel's heading down south, and he's going to get himself into an interesting position. You can see that there's a Hindenburg that's just off to his nose now, off to his bow, that's backing up in reverse. Well, okay. There's a Cleveland behind him. Also, his friendly battleships have followed him over here as well. He's, I'm assuming, trying to get an angle on some of these battleships, and also put himself next to that island where it's going to be a little bit more difficult for the planes to get a strike in on him, because as we all know now with the changes, planes cannot see through islands and detect you, so they have to come all the way around. So at this angle, those planes would have to fly, currently the enemy planes that are in the middle of the map would have to fly all the way over his position before they'd be able to spot him. So that's a nice little thing to have, and as you're going to see here, he's going to start off the game with a pretty decent salvo on the enemy Yamato that appears. And there we go. Oh, no. No. Why is he shooting HE? I told you guys, this is going to be a clown fiesta, and it will not disappoint. Angel's next salvo going down range. Dispersion looks pretty good at about 17 kilometers, and there we go. A nice solid hit. 6 penetrations, over 16,000 points of damage. Angel's one of the better BB players on the EU server. His aim is impeccable, and right there, with a little bit of good dispersion, he was able to find the very weak part of the armor just above the armored belt at an angle and penetrate with 6 of those shells. Now, here's when the ridiculousness starts to happen. You can see that the Yamato turned in, of course, because he doesn't want to take another 16 burger, and the Hindenburg that is out in front of Angel is going to be the focus here coming up. You can see that he's at about full health, and he's going to go around the corner and get spotted by those enemy ships that are sitting just to the west of the center part of the capture point. There's a Minotaur over there. There's a Kurfürst that's a little bit closer to that. There's also a pair of cruisers over there as well. And this Peter Rum guy is going to go bow on to all of that crap that's in front of him. So I'm not sure why the Hindenburg is in that position. It's very dicey to close the distance with one of those ships because since your torpedoes are a relatively short range and your concealment is kind of bad, you really do have to use island cover to try and close the distance. But he's just not doing it right whatsoever. Sitting bow on, and now he's about ready to go in reverse. And of course, there's two battleships in the Kreml and the Yamato that are pushing to the northeast. So eventually they're going to get an angle on him, and it is not going to be looking very good for the Hindenburg dude. So you can see he's already taken some damage. He's getting spammed by the Minotaur. And of course, Angel is also trying to maneuver around a little bit, but he also doesn't want to stick his nose out too far, which he now has. And oh boy, yeah. Oh, the Hindenburg is going to make a very nice meat shield as he's trying to move forward. Angel is T-boating him. There's Yammy shells coming in. I mean, yeah, let's just... Yikes. Okay, well, that was, yeah. And now Angel's kind of in a bad spot, literally in between a rock and a hard place because... Well, he's getting spammed by the Minotaur and the Des Moines that's over there, and he's trying to back up, and he has to stay anchored to those battleships, but unfortunately, as he gets a Citadel on the Yamato, he's actually going to back up and bump the island because he needs to stay relatively angled to those BBs. So now there's only one thing that he can really do, and he'd have to go forward to get off the island and, you know, stay at a decent angle, but obviously that's going to open him up to some fire from the Minotaur and friends over there. So trying to get the kill shot here on the Yamato, and that is some unreal dispersion. Horrible, horrible, horrible. One pen, one shell break. No damage dealt. He's now taking a lot of damage. You can see that the Yamato just absolutely nose crushes him for about 20,000 points of damage. He's eaten a lot of damage in return, of course. He's trying to get the rear turrets off before the Yami is able to get reloaded. Fortunately, the rear turret does manage to get a Citadel, so this guy will be going down here very quickly. Gets the two forward guns off, but before he's able to get the kill, the Cleveland does manage to burn him down. But now he's got to deal with the Kreml. And as we all know about the Kreml over the last week or so, that folks like myself and the super testers have been in the random battles using it, the closer that you get with the Soviet battleships, the deadly, much more deadly accurate they become. So, unfortunately, if he gets even closer, he's going to be hitting more shells on target, but there is one big weakness of these Soviet BBs. Yeah, 60,000 damage with 5 Citadels. Captain Stewie gets broken in half by American Freedom. He picks up the devastating strike and his first kill of the game. That is a feature, quote-unquote, of all of the Soviet battleships. When they do get in close and they don't angle enough, you can do to them what other battleships can do to Yamatos. You can literally point-click and delete them with a full salvo of armor piercing. So, unfortunately, Angel lost a lot of hit points doing that, but now that that threat has been neutralized, he is going to, I think he's going to beach here. I told you guys, this was going to be ridiculous. He does get spammed a couple times by the Minotaur in smoke, but fortunately, there is nothing to air detect them. At least there wasn't until now. You can see that those planes just flew over the island, and then all of a sudden, Angel was detected, but in the run-up to the island, they were not. Fortunately, the Minotaur is radared or something, so he has to move. Angel's going to toss his next salvo downrange at the enemy Minotaur. Dispersion looks okay. He does manage one pen for about 4,500 points of damage. But now you can see that there's an enemy Worcester that's on the other side of the island as well. Last detected, and there we go. He does get spotted for a brief second at 2.7 kilometers away, chilling behind the island. So now Angel has a decision to make. He could either sit here and maybe about face and start heading back to the north to try and link up with his team members, or he can go full YOLO around the corner and see what happens. And if there's anything that you've noticed about this replay so far, well, I think we all know what the option is going to be, and it will be the latter. The Worcester decides to try to come around the corner, and then he's like, nope, 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 nope. So he's going to move forward and try and get out of dodge. Full health Worcester at about 3 kilometers, and here goes Angel coming around the corner, full speed ahead. Let's see what happens. There's also an enemy Yamato that's to the south or west-southwest of the Worcester's position. So unfortunately, when Angel comes around the corner, he's going to have to be very careful about his angling. He gets the 2 forward guns out, gets the Citadel. If you go through the boxy part on the back of those American heavy and light cruisers, you are able to Citadel them, much like a Minotaur. You saw there he broke one of the back turrets with the 2 forward guns, and then he was able to really screw the dude over. Well over 30,000 damage with the combined salvo. So now it's just a question of how quickly can he get his guns turned to be able to finish off this kill. There we go. Another Citadel, another kill, 173,000 points of damage. But now, unfortunately, he is going toe-to-toe with this enemy Yamato stuck bow on. And the rest of the enemy team, except for the Minotaur and the Jutland, over still sitting in the middle part of the cap behind that island, are all just around the side of this island. So Angel is not in a very good position, but that's okay because full speed ahead, we'll see what happens. The 2 forward guns, or the 2 forward turrets going down range. He decides to make the turn of death right in front of the Yamato, but he figures if he can get inside of cover, he might be okay. Fortunately for him, that Yami had some incredibly bad dispersion on both the A and the B turret, so he should be able to get angled up here by the time that Yamato gets ready to toss his next salvo downrange, and then also his AA guns were able to keep away those enemy, I believe they were the rocket planes. He does get the spotter plane up, and it's not just useful for shooting at range, but it's also useful for looking over islands. A big meaty salvo, over 20,000 points of damage. Unfortunately, only 6 overpens with those 16-inch guns of his. I'm very surprised that Kutuzov did not get deleted outright, but now Angel is going to be able to make this turn, but not before he gets a salvo down range at the enemy midway. At this angle, not 100% sure if he's going to be able to nuke him or get a lot of damage, but we'll see here. Shell's going down range, and yep, just enough. Holy shit, 45,000 points of damage, high caliber, 8 penetrations, 1 Citadel. That is about as meaty of a salvo with 1 Citadel that you will see in this game. Insane shot. Now the Minotaur is sitting there in the smoke screen trying to slow down. Angel, of course, waits for him to slow down where he can't get out of the way. The shell's going down range, and dude, he picks up the Confederate. He has Admiral Halsey in, so you can see that the reload has now gone down quite a bit as well. If you've lost track of the damage counter, it's 261,000 points of damage with 3 kills, 12 Citadels, which is just unreal. That's like, it's well over 140-some thousand points of damage at least, just off the Citadels alone. Unfortunately, as he turned in, he will eat a torpedo on the nose, and he does flood, but he does have, of course, the repair going for another 13 seconds, and he does have another heal up coming in a minute or so. So at this point, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get undetected here once his gun bloom goes down, and I don't think so. Nope, those planes are still spotting him. So instead of deciding to wait until his heal comes back, he's going to go YOLO around the corner and see what he can do to this enemy Yamato, who is providing just enough of his cheek to be able to get rickrolled. Angel is trying to angle in. He does a little bit. Can he dodge this stuff? Oh, the Yamato bounces off the side. 1,100 hit points that Angel has left. But you can see that this Confederate boost in the reload is coming in handy. Only a 15-second reload. The front guns go out, and he gets a Citadel, trying to swing his rear turrets into play before the Yami gets his shells off. Angel should be able to get the kill here, and there we go. Right as he dies, another 10,000 on the Yamato. And yeah, that might have been the most PEPEGA game I have ever seen. Okay, so yeah. I don't really have much else to say, so I guess we'll just look at the post-battle results now. Alrighty guys, taking a look at the post-battle results, 672,000 credits received and 13,800 total experience earned. He picked up Confederate, High Caliber, and Devastating Strike, dealing 312,000 points of damage off of 89 shell hits. 8 planes were shot down. He sank 1/3 of the enemy team and had 14 Citadels, which is just unbelievable. Taking a look at the team score, 3,313 base experience. Any 3K base XP game is absolutely awesome, and Angel certainly did not disappoint here. Taking a look at the detailed report, 310,000 with the main battery, and a cheeky 2,400 with the secondaries. So, yeah, a lot of damage, a lot of really strange things going on, but he was still able to end up with a really, really good result. And you can see there's 73K on the Kreml, 50K on the Yami, 51K on the second Yami, 45K on the Midway, 41,000 on the Worcester. Just so many big, meaty hits on all of those ships. So, Angel, I hope you enjoyed this commentary. That game was pretty strange. I know I've said that a million times already, but I hope you enjoyed the commentary, as do I hope all of you guys out there watching as well. So with that being said, this is the Sneaky Snake for Brothers in Arms World of Warships signing off. Guys and gals, as always, have a great day.